Meeting of the Sherman County Board of Commissioners come to order, please. First off is open public forum.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Bryn Quinzer, and I would like to say a prayer.
Go ahead.
Father God, we just praise and thank you today for this day. We thank you for this commissioner meeting. We thank you that you are our God and you love us and you care for us. And Lord, we just bring Sherman County all the people that are here, we just bring them before you and we just pray a blessing upon them and encouragement. And Father, we decree, for as the rain comes down and the snow from heaven, and does not return there, but waters the earth and makes it bring forth and bud, it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. So shall your word be, O Elohim, be that goes forth from your mouth. It shall not return to you void, but it shall accomplish what you, O Elohim, pleases, and it shall prosper in the thing for which you sent it. Lord, we just pray that you and ask that you will just be over this commission meeting. I pray for the commissioners. I pray for wisdom for each one of them. I pray a blessing upon them. And I pray, Father, that the stress of this job, I know that it can be stressful. And Lord, I just pray against any physical attacks on their bodies from the stress. Lord, we just pray peace over their hearts. And we just thank you for their being willing to serve the people of this county. And I just ask, Father, that you will also bless those who work for the county and for the city of Goodland. We just praise and thank you for our country. We thank you that you love us so much. And we thank you, Father, that we have an election, that we're able to be free in this country, and that we're able to choose who we would like to serve us in the government. And Father, we just come before you and we ask that you will break off and that you will destroy and anything that is coming against Sherman County and our elections and anything else that is coming against us to stop things from being revealed. Father, we know that at this time that you are revealing any evil that is has been established in our land in the United States. And that means all the way down into each county, each city. And Father, we just pray that you will just reveal if there are people that are lying, I pray that it will be revealed. If people are withholding information, I pray that it will be revealed. And Father, that your will be done. We ask that your will be done on this earth in Sherman County as it is in heaven. We praise and thank you for this day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you.
I do have a question also, and it's to Mr. Mangan, is that right, correct? Okay. You came out with the report for FBI on the Ashley's account for that, and you said that the information that you got earlier, and that you weren't allowed to release that information until 4 days before the election. And so my question to you is, who told you that you could not release that information and why?
Well, I didn't get clearance from the FBI that they were done and that the U.S. Attorney's decision could be made public until about a week or so before. And that commission meeting was the next opportunity to provide that information. That was public information. I provided it as soonest opportunity I had.
But you knew about it sooner than that, a week
I'm
ago?
not going to comment on that.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Everybody get a chance to look at the minutes?
Yeah.
Can I comment?
Yes.
Sorry, I have another question. Okay, dealing with all of this, according to what we knew and understood, the money that was taken from the COVID, first the money to Ashley for what she did, she distributed money for COVID is what it was supposed to be for. What we understood was one commissioner said that it was okay, the others didn't understand or didn't know about it, and that it's on public record that Ashley said that she was going to pay that back. Where is that now? Is that money being paid back? I know that we as, we the people had to pay that $70,000, if I'm wrong, correct me. Also on that, it was to our understanding that as soon as that the FBI gave their report, then another investigation could be opened up here in Sherman County at this time. So just very interesting that this is all falling at this time, so thank you. I guess, can you answer those questions? Can you answer the questions as to who paid the money, where the money came from? We had to pay it back?
The money was paid out of the Sherman County General Fund.
I guess the only problem I had with the whole thing was that we were counting on federal funds to pay those admin fees. And when the Office of Recovery denied that, now it became taxpayer funds that had to pay the admin fees. That's where I had where the hangup was.
The question that I have, from what I guess a reporter said, and so correct me if I'm wrong, that the money was taken out a day after, that it was like you weren't supposed to get it anymore. Is that correct?
I have no idea.
That it was like a day after, so that money was no longer available for COVID, for the whatever it was supposed to be for.
I personally did not speak to any reporters. I had no contact with the press at all. And to date, there's been no discussion about any paybacks to date.
I guess my question, let's see.
And it wasn't 70,000, it was 56,000 and change, because some of those fees had already been billed out
Okay.
prior to the other people doing it. So that's where that 70,000 came from.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hello, Commissioners. The Sherman County Sheriff's Office is going to host the Kansas Police Dog Association for their fall conference. It'll be, everybody will kind of come in October 6th through the 9th. So I'm looking to see if I can get permission to use the county fairgrounds and that kind of stuff to utilize for dog training.
we'll have to check with,
with William and,
William and the extension office to see if there's anything, I don't see any problem with
yeah.
the,
It is it's the week after Flatlanders,
okay.
very first
The,
weekend.
the only question I have, we might have is it a mud bog or something like that is gonna happen in October. If that's in the grandstands and the track, but I'm not certain on the date on that one yet, if they've requested or a date or not.
Understandable.
But, and that's the Kansas what?
Police Dog Association.
Police.
Yeah, there'll be about 20 to 25 dogs in teams that'll come into the Goodland area. We have hotel rooms set up and everything. We're just trying to get all the training locations set up so we can get everything set up and ready to go before everybody gets here.
How soon do you need to know the answer to that?
It's within 2 months, so is kind of as soon as possible. So I kind of get everything set up. I do know William is gone this week, so I understand that. So I can ask William too. I just want to ask the commission.
Okay. I would also check with the extension office because they have, you know, if it's I don't know when the 4-H clubs meet at their regular meeting out at the fairgrounds, several of them, so we would need to see where the,
Yep, I can check with him and,
yeah,
and go from
that
there.
would be the only other thing that I know of at this time.
If it's available, I don't think there's any problem
No.
with them doing it though.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll bring in some cars to do some fines and that kind of stuff. I've talked to S&M Repair, we're talking to Alex today to see if we can get some cars. We're gonna bring in a semi from S&M Repair. They're gonna bring in one of their big wreckers because that's kind of the new thing with transport and that kind of stuff. So thank you very much.
Yeah, sounds good.
I did have one quick question. We got a lot of rain last night, the roof leak. Did you notice anything?
I know one spot is, the other one, in the office hadn't. I think I got that one stopped.
Yeah, but I think in the back room,
Back room
I think
started.
the back room started.
Another one started, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I think we got one fixed and one started. To be honest, I was out looking for damage. There was some power poles down. US Energy was out fixing them, but it was across the road and stuff, so I had to sit up there for a while.
Okay, I was kind of wondering, thank you.
On the minutes, all I found was a typo under emergency vehicle application. To approve was used twice. So I'd make a motion to approve the minutes of July 31st, 2024.
I'll second that.
Been moved and second, we approve the minutes of July 31st with the correction. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's passed.
Make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $250 and $361,953.28.
I'll second that.
Been moved and second, we paid the bills of $250 and $361,953.28. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed. That hunting heritage one goes to the game warden. Yeah. And it needed to be in early and Ashley called me about that one. Sorry. Person coming in for, okay. Mr. Magnum, I take this as our,
Yeah, the amended tax sale petition, we received all the title work back, and so we know the additional interested owners, really, I think only 2 or 3 of the parcels had any. And so we're ready to file that and get notice out.
okay.
Brett, who did the title work on this one?
Jeff Mason did this one.
So, and we alternate that, right?
Yeah, Courtney will do the
Next one.
I will say about the rain, the only way to get into the sheriff's office without going through mud is through the park. And then through the rocks. And only way,
Is that because they're redoing that part still, or is it?
there's no way to get into the parking lot without going through mud. And coming this way, there's a little trail you can go, but I mean, it's still muddy. We can go into the Sally Port that way, but yeah, if anybody needs to come in and do business, they have to go through the park, grass, cut up the rocks and out the front door. It'll dry out this afternoon.
Good to know.
I just look at it as it's good to have mud instead of dirt blowing in your face.
If you look where they pulled the sidewalk away from the building, you see the water was flowing underneath.
Is it still going early?
About 2-inch gap underneath that.
Hopefully that will be fixed on it when they do this.
All about drainage.
Do we need a motion to approve?
Yes.
Okay. For motion to approve the tax sale petition.
I also move.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded for the tax sale. You don't have a date that when you're,
No.
okay. This just the preliminary work has been done. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. You want me to sign this
Should be one spot, Steve, at the end of the petition, so the first 5 or 6 pages.
Okay. There we go.
Did you guys read this letter from Southeast and East Central Recycling?
I didn't see that one.
It's interesting. They're saying there were 67,000 in the red because of some bookkeeping issues. And that's why these rates are going up by 50%. That's not good.
No.
I thought when he was here, he said that they were making some changes in Colorado and that's why the price had to go up.
Well, This is a little more telling here. I would rather get hooked up with a company in Kansas, but it's not real cost prohibitive, but maybe it is now. I don't know.
How long, Ron, have we been with this company? Long
A
time.
lot of years.
A lot of years.
Yeah.
I remember them when I was on the very first time. So at least 16, I bet you.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, they're asking for entities to help out by paying an additional $5,000 to $10,000. Holy cow. I want to start looking into different options. I don't know.
Yeah, that's big jump.
But I think we've already committed for another year.
Yeah. Is there any place that you know of in Kansas that's doing recycling?
Well, the only one that was talked about was the one that's over in Thomas County, but I'm not familiar with it. I just know it was a lot more money from what they've
What they want,
stated, yeah. But we might want to,
but now,
Ashley, do you have a name for that recycling company that takes care of Thomas County?
No, but I can't.
Okay.
looks like we're not gonna have a show for the hospital, so. Go ahead and get started with canvassing the ballots.
Friday, we had the audits. These are the post-election audit races that were audited. So we did United States House District 1 Republican, Kansas House District 120 Republican, and Sheriff Republican. So we did those all for Ward 4. That was the ward that was randomly selected. And then if you flip that page, here's what the unofficial results showed, and here's what our audit showed. So we matched.
Okay,
And then you can go to the next one. Same, match. And same for that race. So here's the email from Secretary of State's office saying that our audit was approved and we're clear to canvass. So.
Okay.
We have 31 provisional ballots. So to explain a provisional ballot, it's if you have a name change, an address change, not registered at all. These are all people that are registered. It's either an address change, a name change, or both. And so they should all count, but that is the final decision by you guys. So if you guys want to open those and then give them to Harvey to feed into the machine. Harvey, if you want to look at this, there's 0 there, correct, at the top?
Yes.
0 in there. There's 3. So up at yours is a mail-in one, Steve, so yours is a little bit different. The rest of them will have a little tab on the top that shows why they're provisional.
put this one back over here.
Okay.
Does it have? Change of address.
So if you flip over,
Provisional,
this is their old address,
okay,
and then here's their registration with their new address.
okay.
Actually, while they're doing that, how does the process, when someone comes in and votes and it's provisional, does- you take that, who takes that, who sees those
It goes in those envelopes,
things?
and then at the end, yep.
So
So
whoever
they
the
go-
voter is, they put it in here.
Yeah, so they
Voter
alter
put it
new
in there.
voter registration, that's attached to the back there. They check in just like normal, but we mark it as provisional, so it puts that little tab at the top. They vote their ballot, they put it in the ballot, or in the envelope, and they bring it back to us. Then those manila envelopes go in that gray envelope.
So no one's actually seen these ballots?
Nope.
How is the signature back on the mail-in ballots?
On the mail-in ballot, it's matched to the voter registration,
By you and your staff?
yes.
I'll give you a few more, Rod.
Okay.
What was the percentage of total voters we have in the county that voted?
Why you do that? %.
40?
received the audit, I didn't touch them. I'll rest it.
United States House District 1, Republican. Kansas House District 120, Republican. And Sheriff, Republican.
I only have two.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. You can start feeding the hungry hippos.
Either way.
Matter of fact. Is it up or down?
Just read it out loud.
Actually, this is just the one mail-in ballot here.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have any ballots that were mismarked? Question mark.
The machine will kick them back.
Usually kick them back when it happens.
question. Can I ask it?
Yes.
Okay. Ashley, does the tally come up on your screen then, on your computer? As he's putting those in?
No. Nope.
It doesn't?
Nope.
Oh,
So we
okay.
take the
She
stick
has to
from
get-
here and it goes into a different computer that's, doesn't touch the internet, doesn't touch anything.
Thank you.
You set this envelope over there with these others.
All of them?
31.
31, okay. We'll close the polls. And I'll take this stick, like I said, take it to the other computer.
Is that a new machine or is it the same ones that we had?
Same one.
So have we changed out the computers since they started these?
What's that?
Have we gotten different ones since they started tallying the election? votes?
Different voting machines? No.
This is the only one we've had.
No, before this, Janet had a different kind. Same company, just an older model.
Did your rain come pretty hard last night?
Not really, I mean, it was pretty nice.
That's right. Did it, the road soaked it up pretty quickly though, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, like a sponge.
Yeah,
I didn't have any trouble.
there's a couple of places where,
There was very little water standing for a half inch of rain, very few puddles.
we had more puddles in the yard than any place else.
Yeah. When did they figure they'd have those soil samples for Smoky?
He said it's gonna take a little bit, but he hoped in a couple of weeks.
I just don't know how long that stuff stays in the ground.
Well, that depending on the chemical makeup of it. I called Rod and he gave me the chemical strip, so that makes it easier to,
Yeah. I know what they're looking for.
some of them big cottonwoods are starting to put a little green back on them. So, didn't set them down all the way.
Yeah.
Make it out to the fairgrounds anytime this last
I
week?
did not. First time in a long time I haven't been out there.
They had very good shows. It was, livestock shows were good, not the big numbers, but good quality.
Yeah.
Had an excellent sale. You need to make it to the parade. There's gonna be some kids that are gonna die of overdose of candy. Oh, I mean, tell you, there was kids with Walmart sacks stuffed full of candy.
The good news is none of them had to come home with me.
My wife sat next to a family, and their one little boy, if it wasn't a Tootsie Roll, he didn't even pick it up. It had to
Man's
be
gotta
Tootsie
have
Rolls.
his priorities.
Yeah. Need a motion to approve the canvassing of the ballots.
Make a motion to approve the canvassing of the ballots of the 2024 August 6th primary election.
I will second that.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion is passed. Adrian, I think you're up.
Morning.
Good morning. How can we help you?
Just checking back in on follow-up from our last meeting. I don't know that I needed an appointment per se, but I don't have any new documentation to present or bring forward to you at this time.
Speak up, please.
Try it again. She has no new stuff to bring forward at this
Yep.
time.
I'm just here for follow-up to see if we had any answers to any of the questions.
Okay, I guess I can get started, just with what I have. There is no formal county policy on sales of equipment.
Like when
Per
we're done with
se.
like disposal. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
There will be. We'll have to get with Brett and go through get that nailed down. On that note with policy, I'm gonna suggest that we have a resolution. I'll call it a universal or standardized resolution that works for everybody as far as donations. So it's clear and decisive as to how donations can and can't be used. Does that make sense, Brett?
It does, but that might be difficult where if you have somebody donate, for instance, in Doug Whitson's case, I mean, my understanding was those donations were specific to something like that. Yeah, so if you have specification, it'd be tough to do a catch-all resolution when you have certain donations that are gonna be specified, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say that if we can alleviate a lot of heartburn later for everybody.
Can you talk to me and find out what the issue is there, or you just wanna decide this with what she said?
Well, obviously there's a problem, so we talk about that.
Well, we talked about it, but the problem is this part was supposed to be when you talk to me to find out what's going on, not to make decisions.
Well, we're talking now, so come on up.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what the whole
Yeah,
thing is about.
Not this one.
well, here we
Today's
go.
supposed to be about talking with me to find out some facts, or are we just gonna go with what she said and?
I've already answered the question. We're talking now.
Right.
So have a seat and we'll
But you-
talk.
You proposed a resolution already.
No, we haven't proposed a resolution.
He asked about.
I'm saying we
And
should.
Brett clarified it saying we can't.
Yeah.
We can do it on some things, but we can't on others. If someone wants to come in and donate X number of dollars to the sheriff's department for the sheriff, they can do that. Is that correct, Brett? If it's name tagged for a specific thing, or if someone wanted to come in and donate to the EMS, it would be ear tagged for the EMS.
Well, we're talking about county funds, correct?
No,
No,
this is
Not
from a
if they're
This is
donation.
just in general, donations.
Someone comes up and
Okay.
says, here, use this how you want it
Okay,
to.
all right.
So that's why you proposed a resolution without even talking to me about what the dish.
Burton, we're talking now. We're
Okay.
not doing a resolution. We're talking now,
Okay,
okay?
but I want to start with the receipts. You want to take out your copies of your receipts? Who wrote the red on there?
I did.
You did?
That's the ending, four
Okay.
ending card numbers.
Okay, so you're the one that determined that these were what you call not reconciled?
No, I requested for any unreconciled receipts. The writing on there is to clarify, so like this card number matches this card number. And I circled the ending card numbers, which
Okay.
those do not match within the First National Bank cards.
Okay,
It also does not match the Western State Bank account. That's why they're unreconciled.
okay. So Ashley, how did you determine these were unreconciled?
This is the date range that those are in. I didn't have any statements or anything to match those two.
Okay, you didn't have a statement? I had,
A credit card statement?
well, this is, yeah, a credit card.
Yeah, it doesn't match our credit cards. So like
Okay.
if they're MasterCard, our credit cards are not matching.
So these are from, the dates on those, or what are the dates? From 4/15/2022,
Okay.
right?
They weren't
How's
MasterCards
come
then either.
I'm the department head and I knew nothing about these until someone from the public presented them as unreconciled? See, I don't understand that, because how does a department head not know they're not reconciled, number one? Okay, so what are the problem with these two receipts?
I just put on there that the ending four digits matched.
They matched, okay?
Yes,
This,
there's
okay,
nothing that says this is wrong, does it?
yeah,
It
but
just
but
says
the
that
way
those
you
two
presented
cards
it
match.
as unreconciled as something that I did wrong to the public.
She represented it as unreconciled. That's all
I
she did.
See, I don't understand why they're not reconciled, because they're reconciled in my books. I have records of them. I have everything in my books. I don't know why Ashley wouldn't have them.
So did you bring that with you, I guess, what account those came out of then?
Yeah, they come out of transports, because these are all transports.
And that's done through the county's financial account?
Yes. It's
Okay,
not
and
through
so-
anything through the commissary.
No, I didn't say it was through commissary. This was actually a very separate subject that I
Right,
brought up.
that's what I'm trying to figure out is, this is another way to make me look bad, is what it is. These two here are unreconciled because of what? Same card, same date?
They're not, a receipt isn't unreconciled because of the card ending numbers. The only reason I had that on there was they had similar cards for those charges. That's it. That has nothing to do with the commissary, so this is
Right,
a
no, no.
complete separate, but you brought that up. So I just wanna clarify that.
But
I
you
just
brought
made
these
a
up.
note that these are unreconciled, so when I even have to do paperwork at the end of the year, I have to match up all my checks and balances just as well. And if you have a MasterCard, obviously that wasn't pertained with the county card, is that not correct? Is that why they were not
correct.
reconciled?
I'd like to see that evidence because they're on my MasterCard payments. I didn't dig those out. Huh?
What account's MasterCard?
Or not MasterCard, she keeps saying MasterCard, Visa,
It
or the
says
credit
MasterCard
card.
on there.
They're
Huh?
not, they're MasterCard though.
Okay, and some of these are personal cards.
Nobody
So-
ever said, hey, where's my reimbursement?
That's what I asked. Okay, did these people not get reimbursed because you
There
didn't
was
follow
no
up?
name.
This
How
is
am I
2
supposed to
years
know?
later. 2 years later, I'm finding out about these receipts.
Okay, so we have a check reimbursement form that's supposed to be filled out,
We have to,
or even a name at the top that says, paid personally, please pay so-and-so.
I have to do the same
It's
thing
no
when I'm
problem
on
with
call.
EMS, it's no problem with fire, any other department.
But these are 2 years old.
If they haven't been reconciled, somebody hasn't turned in a receipt somewhere that they didn't, if these are off of personal cards, those guys are, if they don't want their
Okay.
money, I guess, thank
Well,
you.
but the problem is if they're unreconciled for 2 years, why wouldn't I know about that, Steve?
Because your employees did not turn in the, money, the request for money if they're not
Somewhere she's
reconciled.
got a record of all my unreconciled receipts. And then this one here on the back, it's interesting, she has dates and account used. Well, the date is April 2023, commission statement from Combined Public. This is done every month. Every month. Why is it not reconciled? Every month they do a Combined Public. That's the telephone. So I'm asking, why as a department head, why I wouldn't know that I have an unreconciled receipt?
I know we're told within a week or two even. Like
Right,
if we
you're
have a
told
missing
within a
or-
week. I'm not told within 2 years.
Well, there's emails that are sent to you on inventory that no
Okay,
one
show me an
responded
email
back
that was
to.
sent to me that I missed. I'm sorry.
Okay, for 3 years,
For 2 years.
no, I'll say for 3.
I mean, the thing is, Ashley, I wanna know from you why a department head wouldn't know about this. Also, can I get a record of all open records acts that have been filed against the sheriff's office? I think I should know that too.
These are 3 email options, I think that's in there under E1. These are for inventory, not even for that, this is for inventory, that an
Okay,
inventory
I
wasn't even.
wanna talk about this.
Oh, well, you wanted to talk about emails that you didn't get, that you didn't respond back to. These are ones that you never responded back to, and that wasn't even turned in for insurance, so.
Well, let's
I
just,
don't have,
let's
I don't
just,
have an email in regards to that.
well, let's
I
just
didn't
take
ask
one
for
thing
that.
at a time, and I think that's correct, these receipts. Evidently, they paid for their gas, and your employee
Okay,
did not
these-
get
These
reimbursed.
are probably
for it.
times that one time the credit card wouldn't work, or the gas card out of the Frontier Agri bill because the bills weren't paid. And my guys had to pay out of their pocket. Okay, these credit cards here, I believe,
And then they didn't get reimbursed,
well, I don't
because they
know,
didn't put in the paperwork to do that.
evidently not. But the problem is I didn't know anything about these until now. And these here are actually gas cards This is Jeff Diesel's. I mean, it's the same date, same time in different towns, but he fills up constantly. He doesn't like to be below half a tank. He fills up with 3-4 gallons at a time, or 6 gallons at a time is what he did on those. But the thing is this is actually one of the credit cards that we use for the company card, but why are they not reconciled?
So how many of these are actual county cards?
Well, I'll have to go through and look at them again, because I assumed
I
these
mean,
were
what are we
credit.
talking about here? Is this,
But the thing is though, is it's frustrating that this was brought out in public right before an election to make someone look bad, when the county clerk worked diligently with another person to bring out information that I had no clue about.
When you say work diligently, I went in as just any other citizen could have and requested
Who
that
told you to
paperwork.
request that?
I requested that.
I know you
That's
requested that. Who
mine.
told you I had outstanding credit cards?
I
mean,
asked for that because there are businesses that do that, and that is one of the top things
Oh,
that people
you
get
just-
caught on. Yes,
premonition.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry that I do have background and knowledge of how to do paperwork and stuff.
Okay.
Had to do it for my dad for years.
But 2 years old stuff. Is there anything new, Ashley, that I need to know about? Is there any more? I need to know, is there any more?
I'd have to look.
Okay, now did you fulfill her open records request for everything or just part something? If you have to go look.
I did, on the unreconciled receipts, I only did like the last, what was it, Adrian, do you remember the last
I said, can I just have a few of them? That's all I've asked for.
2 years, I think it was?
Okay, so this is the last 2 years. I asked if there's anything recent. You said you had to go look, so. I just think it's interesting that a person that's in charge of the department doesn't know about this. I mean,
In this particular case, this is not your fault. Because I'm an employee, okay, and if I spend my own money and I don't ask for reimbursement,
Right.
that's my fault, that's not your fault, okay?
But if
Now,
it's brought
Because I
out in
know it
public,
gets taken
Yeah,
out of
I
my
agree.
I
paycheck
did
if
something
I didn't
nefarious.
I agree with that, I do. But these were the responsibilities of the people that work underneath of you, and they should have reapplied for the money to get their money back. Now, between the clerk
But
and
if
you.
they weren't
we're-
notified by the clerk.
Well, but Bert, even when I haven't been at this very long, but even when I go to an event or something, I'm told if I want reimbursement, I've got to fill the paper back out and do that. But that's on me, that's not on
And
you.
if not, that comes out of
It's
my
not on
check.
Ashley, that's on me.
But it was
So
brought
this-
up 3 days before election. It was-
The timing of this was not really
It took me like
appropriate, so I
2.5
get that.
weeks to put any of this together.
Yeah, I know.
So,
But these receipts still, so that's up to the people who charged that. And if they want their money back, they have to ask for it.
Right, that's
Well,
on them.
I'm gonna
My
say,
department head
I'm gonna say
contacted.
these 4 right here, the ones that she drew out as the same card, are county cards.
Okay.
Okay? But the thing is, they say same card, but the problem is, I think they messed up because this was actually in April and this one was actually in September, 5 months apart, okay? This one's the same day.
Great.
I got the records of those two in the same day, and that's Jeff Diesel. He filled up with 3 gallons. It's 3 gallons. He didn't like being below.
Yeah, I don't-
And the thing is this is a county card. It made to look like I did something wrong.
Purpose.
When I was, I don't think you're up here. I was up here, when I presented these, all I marked on there was that they were the same ending card number. That
Good.
is it, that's the only reference to that.
And these were
And-
5 months apart, and to look at the mileage is 81,725.
Right,
This was
well, I-
97,103. We put a lot of miles on in those 5 months. Our guys are traveling and doing a lot of stuff, and when our credit card don't work, and we have to use our personal credit card because of non-payment of the clerk's office, that's a problem.
I've had to use my personal
So-
card too, cause cards do pay.
Well, it shouldn't happen.
And then I have to use mine and I get reimbursed, I turn in my form, and if I
Okay.
don't, then it gets taken out of my
Yeah,
paycheck.
paycheck.
That's the
Why was
steps
it
for
taken
that.
out of paycheck? It's already paid by your card. But whatever.
But if you don't ask for it, that's your
If
fault.
I don't, that's my fault. If
Yeah.
I don't turn a
So-
receipt, if I don't turn a county receipt in, I'll correct myself. If I don't turn in a county receipt and like I lose it and I can't provide it, that's when it would come out of my paycheck. If I use my personal card, then it comes out of my funds and I don't use it again. Or don't receive it back.
And in this case, that's what happened. Evidently, these guys did not ask for reimbursement.
But the 4 cards there are actually county cards. They've been paid, if they're not reconciled, we got a problem there because of the fact that they're paid by, the county, but they're laid out to make it look like they're the same card on the same date or something. It's like,
That's not what it's made out for on the
well,
same
the
day,
whole
just
thing
the
of
card.
that
They're
card.
just
was-
non-reconciled.
That was all it was just that they were unreconciled.
Okay, so are we done whipping this horse, or do we want more conversation about it?
I think we need to be diligent, every one of us. If you got a receipt, you turn it in and have on it what it's for.
So I have a question, is if you make a mistake and they don't inform you of it, and you don't get paid, then it's just your fault.
All your guys should be turning their receipts over to
Right.
you.
Right, they do.
I mean, they shouldn't be
And
just coming in
and the
here.
funny part, one of these is, I wanna point that out. The one over here with the candy, the jail parade, that's my personal card, and I didn't turn it in for reimbursement. I must have taken it out when I turned in the card. I don't get reimbursement for that. I pay for it every year, so. That was just another thing to make me look bad. I bought jail candy, wow, for the jail parade. And also, if you look at these, none of these have my initials on them. I changed my policies that everything should have my initials on them.
Right.
Which I had to fight to get done, so they weren't being paid unless I initialed them. Because this is also when a lot of things started happening in my department I didn't like, and I was trying to correct it.
Okay.
Can I ask a question on the receipts?
Yes?
So if a receipt is turned in by the sheriff's office, how long should we be waiting until payment is given out to that entity that has done service for the sheriff's office or for the county?
Should be taken care of by the next pay period,
It
wouldn't
should
it?
be taken care of, okay? So what would be the policy then if it's not taken care of by the next pay period or the next commission meeting?
What's the avenue, how do we take care of it?
I'd say manual check.
Do what?
Manual check?
Well, the problem is we submitted payments for local vendors that did some work, and they were paid 6 months.
5 to 6 months after.
Like a contractor.
Well, there's people doing business. I had embroidery done from coats I bought.
Okay.
And a local person did that, and it took 5 months to get paid. And finally, we had to demand payment. Also, it's ridiculous.
This,
And I was
this
told
is
that,
recent?
and I was
I
told
just
that
paid last month.
I
It
was
was
told
done
that
in
them receipts
January.
were put in with the credit card statements. And Ashley was waiting for a credit card statement to come in to match with that bill. How long did the credit card statements take to come in?
I don't know, I'm not a
And
credit card
it was an
company.
invoice. Somehow it got stacked with but she put it in her drawer. I think what happened when you went over.
If it went through the mail system, I can guarantee you
No,
in 6
it's
months.
a
It
hand
wasn't through the
delivered.
mail system.
Okay.
It was hand delivered. It was hand delivered.
It was in her top drawer when we asked about it.
And it
Oh,
was-
it's right here, not been paid.
The receipt went in with the credit card receipts for the sheriff's office, all put together. I thought they were on their credit card. I did not know it should have been a direct check to them.
5 months later,
So
we
I came
finally
in and asked about
demanded.
it. I knew what had happened and I pulled it out and we paid it.
Human error.
I think it's to make me look bad.
But we have human error.
No,
like-
I think if your vendor didn't know about it for 5
No,
months.
he kept asking, and
And
we
then
asked,
did-
and it never got paid. So we
How many
kept
times did you
asking
ask for
and
it?
it never was paid.
I asked twice, three
Twice.
times.
Okay. Guess I'll have to write down every time everybody comes over.
That's why we started doing
I'm
everything by email.
just asking what the policy is when something like
It
that
should be,
happens.
if it's, we pay twice a month. When we commissioners meet, if the receipts are sent in by the correct amount of time, if there's turned in a day before the commissioner meeting, it probably won't happen until the next,
Understandable?
That's
meeting.
fine.
Should
That's
I
how
not
most of them are
fix it and
done.
get a check wrote
You
that day?
did, I'm
Okay.
asking what the policy is so
And I'm
that
just asking
I,
you, did I not fix it? It was
So,
my mistake,
I-
it's fixed.
I think the policy is, if it's within the time frame of the,
Pay period, whenever we're writing checks.
whenever we're writing checks, if it comes in, the day before, the checks have already been run through, it'll come the end of the month.
And if
It
it
should
happens
be.
in December, it'll be prior year.
So 10 times that could have
encumbrance.
been paid and it never was.
Possibly.
Human error? I don't know.
I'm
Well, I
just
guess,
asking what the policy.
how many
I'm
times
not-
was there a
I'm
commissioner?
not
I
trying to
think,
get
I
in the
think we
middle of all
stated,
this.
well, we stated the
Just
policy.
asking what the policy,
That's
that's
what-
all I was asking.
Yep, okay.
All right. So about the sale of equipment. So why are you asking about the sale of equipment?
We have
No.
We have always been-
You're
no.
bringing up
I
certain
did.
item.
and I will bring that up. So anytime that we have to dispose of items at EMS, it's always been a golden rule that we either had to auction it off or have it sold so that funds would come back to the county first. Okay, we couldn't give it away. We couldn't do that. We just had to do that. The only reason that was brought up was with the AED process of how you got 2 new AEDs, yet the old AED that's out at Calvary Gospel is one that was received in my statement from the grant that Ashley did through the Dane G. Hansen back in 2020, because EMS takes care of the county facility AEDs to make sure that they are up to par, to make sure nothing's expired. If it's not in the county facility building and no one knows that, then how is it to be taken care of and checked on when it's checked on? And I do not know when those checks are done. That is something I believe Assistant Chief Zimmerman does.
Okay.
That was my
So,
question
so
on
you're,
it.
so you're accusing that I gave something away, right? You're saying I gave that
Is
to
it in
Calvin
your
Gospel.
possession?
Huh?
Is it in your possession?
No, it's in my possession at another location. You know, the sheriff and anybody at the charter department can say, the equipment will be here.
Okay, well, we have it marked down on the EMS side that it's
Right.
the sheriff's
And I was
department's
gonna move
spare.
it, but the problem is what happened, let's go back to the beginning. When I tried to buy those AEDs through the donation fund, which is not taxpayers' fund, I was told there was no money there. I couldn't figure out why not. It was $400, it's been $4,000. When I finally found the money, it been moved 3 times, but the problem is it was found and it was paid out of the donation fund where it should have been from the start. I didn't want to cause a huge problem, so I took the one that I bought with that money until I got it straightened out and replaced it with the one I had in here. I just didn't want it to be a common problem and drag Doug Whitson's name down through the dirt.
Oh, I wouldn't wanna do that either, cause
Well, the
I
problem
used
is
to
you
go
have.
no, I haven't.
Let me
I went
finish
fossil
talking.
hunting with
Let me
him, and
finish
I've had
talking.
bond with him as well, so.
Let me finish
Oh,
talking.
yes, please
Okay.
do.
Okay, the problem is I was told the money wasn't there. I finally was able to have time to sit down and look at it and figure out where it was and get it out of the right account.
So then why on 329 was it requested by one of your officers via email to be taken out of the commissary fund?
Because of the fact I was trying to figure out what to do because I couldn't find the money.
Oh, well, there's
You
no
don't need to
reason
get-
to get like that, or we
Well, the
don't have to
problem
do
is-
this, or we
The
can just
problem
do this
is, we have to work
conversation.
this out and we have to keep level-headed.
Well,
If
the
you're
problem
gonna
is
be
that
throwing
You
things,
keep accusing me of stuff,
That's
and when
not
I
accurate.
stand up and say something, then I'm wrong.
It's in,
Okay, the problem is, as a sheriff, I can say, this is gonna be here. I don't care where it is, the sheriff controls his inventory and what he's gonna do. And if I wanna have that located there, I can have it located there. That's how I'm maintaining them through the county until they don't want them no more.
Let me ask you this, anybody that knows more about it than I do. If it's a county-owned AED, are all the other county-owned AEDs on county property? Yes or no?
Yes, as far as I know, yes.
Do you wanna make a policy of that? Because there is no policy.
Well,
Because as a
it's-
sheriff, I am temporarily placing that there until I can get things straightened
Okay,
out.
let's
I
speak to
haven't-
I
this.
guess
I haven't gotten it straightened out. I got it straightened out now. I'm trying to do a ceremony, but I don't want to drag Doug's name through the soil.
Nobody does.
No.
Nobody does, but they are. And the
Okay.
sad part
I
is,
guess what's the, how she wrote the grant, what the placement for them is to be.
Here's the bottom line, if it's owned by the county and it's in a non-county facility and then something happens to that machine while a non-county employee is using that machine, do we got a problem?
well, what if someone in the public comes up and uses this one right?
I don't know. I'm just trying to
if-
resolve
if you-
this.
If you wanna go down that road, county owned is sitting in here and someone in the public can come and use it outside. And come grab
They
it.
can
They
use
could.
it, is it been,
But it's on county property.
it's on county property, but it hasn't been checked out by,
You're right, and that is why
Okay,
I am having them checked out by EMS. I've actually talked to Chris about doing that.
okay.
So the thing is the fact that I temporarily placed one there so that I didn't cause a huge issue, which it ends up being a big, huge issue, it's frustrating.
I get it.
I mean, the fact that the something that was supposed to be really good has turned into a thing that let's just make Penalto look bad. And I'm sorry, I'm tired of it.
Ashley,
Because of the
you wanna
fact
say
that-
something? Let-
The one that was
Let's go
purchased
here.
with the grant funds, it was placed in the sheriff's office in 2020. That grant was wrote to equip county facilities and vehicles with AEDs. The
Okay,
problem is if that is not being done, can Dane G. Henson come in and request that AED back because we're not doing it according to? If he wants to take the one that he paid for with donations and take it out to Calvary Gospel, I don't care. The one that is county should be in county property.
all right, is that doable?
That's fine, but
Okay, so that's done.
I think that causes the least liability issue.
that's the big
That's
thing,
my
it's the
thing.
liability.
Like anybody
all
can
good
use
reason
it.
to bring it
I
up.
have two questions from the floor. Bree was
So
first.
is there a policy that says that has to be? I mean,
She just said the grant required that it be
The
used for a
grant money.
specific purpose.
Requires.
So,
Would it be okay
I
for
like
me
it.
to say that this election equipment can go somewhere else?
no,
Okay, that's county owned property.
all right.
Ms. Knutson?
My question is, the way I've read everything or understand everything, there was not only the AEDs purchased, there was also a trainer purchased. I'm just curious, where is that and
It's at the sheriff's office, we use it to train people.
do we have someone located there that has
Certification?
certification to train others?
The person that we use it with, yes. I'm not gonna drag his name into this because everybody's gonna make a big deal out of it, but he's certified. And we've done certification classes for us and other people.
So because the county owns it, it doesn't have to be
Oh, dear God.
a county person?
I mean, we have like 7 people in the county that are certified to teach CPR. There's 5 of us at EMS, and I think the health department has 3, maybe 4, but.
Okay, so the trainer's at your
We-
facility.
We use the person, because he came in for no cost and trained us. He's certified to teach
With minimum,
First aid,
minimum cost.
AED, and that's what we went through.
As long as they're certified and they have a card, that's all,
That's all you need.
that's what we need.
I just thought EMS trained everybody that worked for the county.
Just the only cost then would be the cards.
All right, so just button this up. The AED that is owned by the county will be returned back to the county, and the donated one can go to the Calvary Gospel. Right? Everybody's in agreement?
Are you in agreement with that?
Oh, yeah, totally. That's what my plan was, but the problem is everybody's gotta make it a
Well-
big deal.
All right, that's where we're at, we're done with that. What else you got?
I guess check back in with, why the city wasn't getting billed for inmates.
All right, the only information that I received from Goodland PD is that their policies have not changed. They just simply didn't get billed. That was their answer.
No, that's,
What's that answer?
I didn't print out anything, but the problem is they changed the way they operate. You can talk to Judge. She comes in within 6 hours and ORs them out. Anything under 6 hours is not billed.
Okay.
Anything over is billed, and anything over 6 hours been going to district court. So there is no billing. If they go over 6 hours, it goes to district, and then they don't get billed for it.
Good, and you need to communicate that with PD.
Okay, well, PD's been trying to do stuff that's not right either, but we'll go down that road later. Also, counties, if you remember when we talked about wages, and I asked to add 4 detention deputies.
Yes.
I said I stopped taking any other county's inmates, because why should I, if I have 20 people of my own, 20 inmates, why should one person have to watch the 20 people plus 4 from another or whatever else?
Right.
Okay, I told you I was not gonna take any more, and then we started expanding. I got 4 or 3 hired. I got 4, I think, hired probably today. If he takes it, he may not with all the BS going on. But anyway, I told you that. Do you remember it, Steve?
Yes, you said that you were gonna have, we approved to have 4 jailers hired. We had the money set aside for that.
Right, but
Yes.
the reason I stopped taking other counties is because of the fact that it's dangerous. I mean, we have enough people of our own, and my guys are overworked, and I was gonna try to expand it. And actually, was it 3 weeks ago? Once we got 3 people hired, we started talking with Wallace County, started taking some of those, and we'll be billing those. But the problem is, I used to have a lot of income from others, but the problem is, when you get 20 of your own inmates, why am I gonna make my guys work extra hard?
Right.
Number one. Number two was the fact that all that money was never seen in my budget. Okay, all the money that you talked about that I used to bring in, used to go to general fund, and I got no benefit for my people's pay, which that money should have been gone to help pay my pay of my people. Okay?
Right.
So if you wanna go back and listen to that meeting, you can. We talked about it back then, and that's the reason we don't have any billing for other counties. As far as people that are here short period, like I pick up some of those warrant, it's kind of an unspoken rule between sheriffs that they pick up my warrant, they don't bill me. I pick up their warrant, I don't bill them.
Right.
Okay, and we do that all the time. I mean, I answer 10 calls a week about people all over the United States picking up my inmates across the nation, and they don't bill me.
Well,
That's a short period on the sheriff, kind of agreement between sheriffs. There's some that do bill, we pay them and then go on.
So I guess with the city, were any of you contacted about the policy not being changed?
All I was told was that their policy has not changed.
Okay, they didn't change their policy, they changed the way they do business. Because ask Judge Taylor. Does Judge Taylor come in immediately after someone's arrested? Yes.
Usually she's there before 7 o'clock, so if somebody gets arrested at 1, 2 in the morning on a city charge, they're out before 7 o'clock as she's going to work. She stops by the sheriff's office, goes in, sees them, gives them no about whatever she's gonna do, and then she goes to work and she's at work by 7 o'clock. So within that,
I'd say maybe the judge and you and the chief need to have a sit down and get that all straightened out. Or at least
I
the
mean, I
judge needs to
don't have
get it
anything
down.
straightened out because they're not leaving them more than 6 hours, so why
Yeah.
am I gonna be billing them unless you want to? See, another reason I actually stopped, because I was told I need to charge over $100 a day for inmates so they could make more money for the general fund. And really upset me when the commissioners told me that I needed to do that. cause that's not what it's
Who
about.
told you that?
I won't mention the name.
The general running rate is anywhere from 40 to 50 bucks a day.
Right, and they
Right.
told me I need to go to $100 a day, and I said, I can't justify that. Actually, a lot of sheriffs are starting to do that, cause you can justify it time you do the medical stuff. But it's just, it's getting up there.
Do you, we don't have a policy that requires you to take anybody. That's your judgment, right?
I
And
guess where would
I take them. The problem is if they're here more than 6 hours, that's when I bill. If they're not here more than 6 hours, I don't bill. Change that, but I don't think the city'd like it.
Do we need to raise the price of what we charge for that?
I-
You said it's between $40 to $50.
Thomas County's at $40 now, and they're either gonna go to 45 or 50. But
Do we need to
they're sitting
change
with a
that?
multi-million-dollar facility that they need to pay for.
That's gonna be
too.
up to the new sheriff, I don't care.
Right.
But that's decided with the commissioners, right? That comes to commissioners.
Well, the sheriff has to justify it.
Okay.
It has to be a justifiable cause. It can't be just an arbitrary number pulled out. But some of the sheriffs are justifying the higher numbers if you include the medical and everything else. That's costing the county.
Okay. But it was your judgment, we needed not to take people from the outside because we were shorthanded.
Right.
That makes sense.
And also, we had a lot of inmates. I
Yeah.
mean, we have a lot of our own inmates in here that were, and also the biggest issue was the counties that asked me to house people, they sent me the worst of the worst.
Sure.
Because we're the most secured facility in the area. I got tired of that because it's putting my guys in danger because of the fact that they're overworked to begin with, but then they get these bad guys that, like Wallace County or Cheyenne County, don't want to mess with. Well, Cheyenne don't have a jail, but I mean, we've accepted some from Rollins County because they got a facility, but they didn't want to house them, and so we kept them for them.
I believe their jail's even closed now, so Rollins County's now is. I don't think they're accepting inmates anymore. I think people have to take them to Colby even.
Right.
So, but I guess where would Goodland, I mean, this is Goodland's spot, the police department to take their inmates to is our facility here only, right?
They do,
Yeah.
but then, like I said, if they're out within 6 hours, they're not billed. And if they're over 6 hours, they have been charging district.
So I just have one more question on that. Where's that money go?
General fund, I don't see it.
Does it go to general fund?
It'd be just like EMS's receipts for
Transfers. All that goes to general.
copies. Anybody that's in the gen, your money goes just back into the gen.
All right, what else?
I guess, do we wanna follow up on the resolution, the A1 information? Or A information?
Okay. As far as the resolution, like I said before, I was not even present when the commissioners came up with that and did that. They did it behind my back. Discussed the sheriff's office, what they're gonna do. I received an email that it changed. I did exactly what the email said and followed through with that and followed that procedure to the letter. And as far as the other debate of the funds, they're in inmate account. And this is probably one reason that they decided they didn't want to have the county account for this, is because of the way the company does this. But I did a balance sheet, what was this, on Thursday, I think it was, last week. There was actually $20,000 in that inmate account. I wrote a check for $8,474 to the commissary, so that was profit from sales of that. And there's operational of $8,600 of what is currently in action. Okay, that's the only way to really explain it. I can kind of show you this. I should make a copy of this, but basically, it's everything from e-cigarettes to engine at canteen, nicotine, or not nicotine, but prescription meds, protocol phones, commissions, emails, phone, text messages, all this stuff that happens
The
constantly.
prescriptions, are those,
If we happen to receive some money from prescriptions that are what we paid, we used to collect bills, but, used to collect quite a bit from, percentage of it. But then, people tried to make me look bad with it, so I just stopped it because of the fact that it was.
okay, but the prescription, you have to go pick it up at one of the
But
pharmacies.
the thing is these funds here, are revolving. If I run this report now and run it an hour from now, it's gonna be totally different. Because of the fact that it's a flowing, process. If you look at the account, like this is the bank statement, it's basically, everything that is, done through, Heartland Payment System, which is a company that basically tracks and monitors and sells the stuff, and then they take money out. And then everything's verified through the software and, made to reconcile.
Is
But if-
Sherman payment through the kiosk as well?
Right, the whole thing's all one thing.
Okay, so not just under turnkey.
It's canteen, it's kiosks, it's, email, it's, I can't think, phone system, it's, text messaging, ordering stuff. People online can buy stuff for someone in jail, and we deliver it to them. All this stuff happens. And it basically brings money in and brought a lot of stuff into the community and done things for the community. But like I said, it's such a headache and it's been used to beat me up so much, I'm about ready to stop it because it's like $8,000 a month is what we can bring in to help the inmates and help buy equipment and bedding and all the stuff for the jail, TVs, whatever they need. But it's so frustrating. But basically, the checking account in that is like $2,200 is actually inmate money, and then $2,500 buffer because of the fact that we have to have some buffer because money comes and goes so quickly. Someone will come in, have someone that deposit $1,500 that they came in with, and then they have to get out, and they get out in 2-3 days. If I haven't made that deposit yet, or if that hasn't been done, then I need to be able to cover that $1,500 coming out.
Have you ever had the situation where somebody gets out of jail and say they came in with like $8,000 for
Yep.
some odd reason, and
Actually,
then,
we've had
how-
12, 14,000. We've had,
right,
what's the largest you remember?
I think 14's the largest.
One, yeah.
We have
Happens all the time.
and then so if that happened like on a Saturday or a Friday and they get out Monday, will the funds be there for them to get out with? And then is that always, my understanding is the only time a check is wrote to an inmate is if they're transferring to like DOC or going to another
If
facility.
they ask for a check, I write them a check.
You have to write them a check if they,
I prefer not to because of the fact that they don't cash them and then I end up with a dead check.
how does the debit card system work over there, I guess? So when they check out and they're given a debit card with their money that they came in on. So my understanding is like when an inmate comes in, all the money that they have has to be entered through the kiosk. Once the money is in the kiosk, and then they get a receipt that goes in their file, that states what they came in with. That money can be transferred, some of it can be transferred to commissary or needs that they need during that time, and then when they check out, they have that receipt originally, and then they have whatever they spent in commissary. There's a record of that.
But like this one here, I just grabbed a bank statement out of Rudham. Luckily I caught one. I had a check or debit for $498 that someone booked out and got a credit card. I mean, then there's checks for $865, $408. Here's another financial for $232. A check for $5,000. That's actually probably a transfer to the commissary. But it's constant. The NUME financial, there's a lot of them. There's a 93.
And NUME is, what are they in charge of?
That's a credit card.
NUME is in charge of credit card.
That's the
And-
one that basically when they get out, we give them a credit card, here's your money back.
And what is, so NUMI's for the credit card dispersal, because I did see those funds coming in and out. What is Heartland for?
That's I'm not sure, it's basically the turnkey. It's the-
Turnkey uses,
Turnkey uses them to do their financial transactions. That's where most of if they buy commissary, that's the money that comes out through Heartland. And then,
Do all jails have commissaries?
some
Do you
do,
know?
some don't. I mean, a lot of them are start to because of the fact that simply it provides funds to where you can buy stuff for the inmates and,
Cause there's pretty good markup on that stuff, right?
it's not that bad, honestly. It's just the convenience of having it, and they play the pity card, oh, I need money, and, I'm really torn with the vaping, because I'm anti-vaping, and I teach that all the time.
Right.
But when we started the e-cigarettes, our fighting and stuff just plummeted. Kinda.
Everybody get a little edgy.
We didn't have as much, I mean, when you get 25 people in a small facility like that, that's stacked on top of each other. And so I mean, and honestly, e-cigarettes is one of the largest commissions that I make. But like I said, I'm torn on that because of the fact that the vaping being so addictive, but they're already addicted. Then they come in, I don't know if anybody's been addicted in my jail, but it's just, and it's used as a disciplinary tool. None of this is guaranteed right to have, even phone. You don't have to have a phone. And if you act out, then you lose your privileges to buy.
so I guess by state statute, what do you have to provide them?
I don't have to provide them anything but
Not
clothing
like underwear
and
and stuff like
food.
that,
I
that's
don't
it?
even have to provide them underwear. I mean, I have to provide them with a jumpsuit, shoes, and food, and that's it. I mean, and a house. There's nothing that I have to be
Right,
provided.
I didn't know, so that's
Are you
why.
on a 2-meal-a-day plan or a 3-meal-a-day plan?
Yeah, food.
Two.
To get 3.
3.
We do 3.
Okay, so going back, the original resolution was written in, passed in 2014. Then Resolution 1917 came along.
That's
And
the
this-
one that was
this
done
is-
by the commissioners. I had nothing to do with that.
No, you were well aware of this, I'm sure, because the point of contention here has always been, and we're down here under the now therefore's number 3, you have it highlighted here, that the jail commissary fund is not created to be its own entity, thus requiring its own tax identification number, but is created to be a subpart of the county financial system using the county tax ID number.
And that was
That's
all changed.
That was the point of contention, I
And
guess.
that was all changed with the 19.
So it's all changed, everything's good.
That's what I thought, but all of a sudden she brings it up right before the election that there's
Okay,
not.
so we're talking about now, are we talking about for the Western State bank account?
Yes, and that is not under the county tax ID number.
Because that's the inmate fund.
Okay, if the money is collected by the sheriff or any, the sheriff deputy, sheriff's office, okay, that office is now responsible
For that money.
for that money, thus making the county responsible for that money.
Okay.
Okay, there's the stickler.
Okay, before you go any further, the problem is with going, let the clerk handle it. The clerk's not gonna come in at night and write a check or do anything to allow that money to go back to them when they get out.
Well, if you guys are still authorized signers on the account, right, if it was under a county account, so
It doesn't
like I
matter.
said, I brought my solution last time. If it's underneath the county tax ID number, yes, it would be going through the county, so, and other counties do that. So, all money is deposited, and then it's through the same system, and then if a check needed wrote, or the debit card system that they use upon checkout, that's how they get their money back, is through that. It's just through a different account that's through a county tax ID number.
It's all
Everything can
smoke
be
and
ran the
mirrors.
same.
I
Yeah,
know what you're saying.
Thing is, also you pointed out that it's not audited, it's audited every year. It goes through the same audit process every year, they look at accounts, take our books and look at them. And the fact that it is audited, okay? If you wanna change this policy, I don't care, but do it after the first year, or after the January 6th.
Brett, I have a question for you when it comes to money. This is, the money they're talking right now is not considered county money, is that correct?
It's not considered public funds, but it does, in my opinion, it does fall under the statute that money is receipted in or brought under the control of a county agency. So it should be brought under the county umbrella.
So my understanding is that if it's not county money, we still have to have a bank budgeting account for that. But we actually do not control that money, is that correct? Because it's not our money, it's not county's money.
No, but it is.
It is controlled.
It's county money when it's earned. When, after they make a commissary transaction, whatever, which, as Bert was talking, that the turnkey report that shows the transactions, it's county money at that point.
Okay.
But we do control it in the sense that it is receipted in by a county entity. So it's under, it becomes our liability if something is missing. It should flow through, it should be deposited into a separate account created in the treasurer's office. We'll say account 521, whatever it is. And that would be inmate funds. And so that money would be receipted in through the treasurer's office under inmate funds. The turnkey reports and everything be used the same. If somebody bonds out on a Saturday, there's a debit card system, or, and I thought I saw Katrina, she could answer this, whether or not a system can be put in place where, the sheriff, undersheriff, jail sergeant, whatever, could be authorized to sign that check, if they want a check or demanding a check as opposed to a debit card. And then there'd just be a form that goes along with that gets turned in Monday of this was receipted out. But legally, again, my opinion is that's the way the statute reads, that's money receipted in by a county entity, and it should be receipted in through the treasurer's office. And then once earned, it would be transferred, based on the reports that we get through the kiosk or turnkey, whatever. Then money would be transferred from the inmate account to the commissary account on either a monthly basis or whatever. But it should still flow through the treasurer. That's just my opinion.
So, if that was the opinion, why wasn't that done in 2019?
that's what was asked.
This is 2017, so it's been 7 years. This has been
It's
riding.
2019 on this one.
Okay, okay.
Is when this
19.
resolution was.
All right,
done.
so-
And that's what they asked for, is that
That's not what they asked me. I sit down and talked with them after that, and this is what we came up with, so.
I think you can fog this issue up all you want if you talk about the past. Start now, going forward.
Okay,
That's just my opinion. Forget about what happened in the past. My opinion is, from a legal standpoint, the statute states that money receipted in by a county entity should flow to the treasurer's office. How you guys handle it from this point is up to you.
okay.
That's my legal opinion.
I'll ask it to Gina. What can be set up? You'll set up a separate account for however you want
I've
it.
got several separate accounts that link to funds. And every month I go through and what the fund balance says, then we do the appropriate transfers. Or if there's a paid out on a certain day, if I'm getting receipts, I'm moving it as we go.
Okay, so we can authorize you and the sheriff to have a checking account that if a person bonds out on Friday night or Saturday morning or whatever, and the courthouse is not open, then he can write a check and,
Or do the debit, yep, and I can do a paid out just as easily as a check.
okay.
The system would work.
Would you allow this company to have full access to that account? full access. They can deposit, withdraw, do whatever they need to do. That's the
As
picture on
long
this.
as there's notification of such ACHs, yes.
What do you mean notification?
Like
I mean,
if they can
this
send
is
an email.
this is an hourly occurrence.
Right.
They access and deposit and pull out funds constantly. If someone buys something, funds are taken.
Mhm.
Okay, if it's constantly, that's what the hangup that they didn't want to do last time was the fact that this company has to have access to that account, total access to it. And they provide me the counting of that.
Mhm.
And then with that accounting, we verify that everything's correct. So
And
that's the hangup that people don't understand, that this is not a normal account that you will
Right.
control. This is something another entity is gonna have access to. Is that okay with you, having another person have access to your county account?
I have stuff that comes in and out of my account all the
From another company?
time.
Okay,
So it sounds like there's no problem. We will,
It's just-
they
it's
can
just
only have
being-
access to that account. So,
Right,
and that's why you have some other companies that do the same thing, is
Yeah.
that they have access to a specific account on a line item, correct?
right.
Okay. So, sounds to
And
me
it would
like
all-
we
it
can
would
work
all
this
be
out.
in the knowing where to take it from, how to, code it on my side within the ledger system versus just the bank side.
Which there's a sheet, I'm assuming there's a printout that turnkey gives you for commissary, like commissary versus inmate, like what they deposited, so they get that receipt. So that could be documented, or I don't know how the
everything's
machine works,
documented.
yeah.
I mean,
they-
every
like
candy
a-
bar, if you wanna look at it, it's
Oh,
like,
yeah, no,
for transaction, it's like
I'm
3
just
pages.
asking for her, so like,
It's
I
like,
have,
Well, and even if you wanted to keep
if they,
it
if they
free-
buy something and it says, I don't want it, it's charged and taken out and put back. Charged.
Okay.
And it's like, I mean, for one transaction, it's like 4 pages.
Is there a way to identify what? not
They're
what-
changing their software or updating it right now.
Okay,
So I don't
know
know.
how that's gonna
You know,
look.
look, I hope it looks better than it does now because I have to go through a lot of hoops to make sure it's perfect. But the problem is that's what they're guaranteeing, that the software, the accounting is better.
If it's wanted, I would be willing to work with you in looking on that and like not even changing where you've got the account. That wouldn't be an issue. Like you wouldn't have to move it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask, would it be a completely separate account from other stuff, or is it just a separate line item?
I have both. I have,
There's gonna be a
So you could-
total.
Right. be a
I
separate account.
reconcile like roughly 8 or 9 accounts every month.
Okay, so you two could work together to get that transferred over to where you are operating without difficulty, because he knows how it's working.
Right, and we could work together and I am totally up for that. Whatever.
Sounds like we got a solution in the action of that. We're gonna get it to where he can write a check if someone bonds out Saturday night or wherever, and he can write a check, and then you're gonna receive all the ins and outs so that it can be balanced out for that with a separate account. The account can stay just under Sherman County's name
and
You have
under
to
the
change
tax
that.
ID number.
and tax ID number.
The tax ID is actually not even used anymore because of the fact that we do all the taxes through your office, right? You pay the tax. You pay the income tax.
So,
It's
Sales tax.
sales tax.
Yeah,
Different, two totally different things.
so yeah, that's
Tax
what,
ID is used for sales tax, so.
that's what Ashley pays and then, yeah, we put it into the system and I reconcile
Okay.
everything.
Okay, so bottom line, Katrina and Burton, you work it out. Make it happen. If that account needs to be closed, close it. Do a city or do a separate account with, or however you're gonna run it through a separate account under the county. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay,
that's how I'm understanding your one.
yes.
okay. Done, easy.
I guess the only thing I have to catch on to that is, that I didn't bring up last time was on those on that bank account at Western, there, was still 2 employees that, one hadn't worked there for 2 years and one hadn't been there for
Jesus.
6 years or more, I don't know. Like, I have a policy with organizations that I work with, like, that if someone doesn't work there
I
anymore,
talked
I
to the
can't give
bank.
them
Well, that's gonna be a
permission to do
non-issue.
that. Yeah, I know,
The
now
bank
that it's
says-
closed.
We'll take
and-
care
The
of it.
bank said the last signature
Appreciate it.
card supersedes anything you got there. They said that doesn't need to be changed. So if you got a problem with that, break it up with Western State Bank.
Well, it'll all be changed now anyway,
Right.
right?
Not gonna matter.
Okay.
Okay, what else?
I think that's really
That's what I have.
all I have.
Was there inventory reports?
Yeah, I brought that email up earlier, just that,
Okay, it's gonna be even more important now than ever that.
Right,
that
we're
you-
gonna do a full inventory. The last inventory was supposed to be done by Carol last time, when she was on her 13 weeks of half duty or light duty. Never was completed into the computer. I believe she had something written up, but I haven't gotten it put in.
Okay.
And we're doing a full inventory. One thing I'll point out, when I took office, there was no inventory. And the inventory of the guns were so poorly done. There was over 3/4.
That's again, like we said before, it's past.
I know, but the
So-
thing is, I'm making
so
a statement.
if-
Let me speak.
The past has a lot to do with everything.
Well, past has a lot to do with it, but if we don't let it go, we're digging up old potatoes.
But let me
But
speak,
You didn't.
okay?
Let it
You
go
keep
early.
saying,
I'm
okay,
the chairman of the board, I can control the meeting.
okay,
Yeah.
can I speak?
Now, yes,
Okay? The thing is I had no support when I came into the office. My computers were wiped clean. A lot of things that the former sheriff did was wrong, and I got no support from the commissioner. I hope you support the new sheriff, because I'm gonna help him into office and do things. Also, I wanna bring up the fact of the pay. I had $8,000 taken from me from the day I was elected.
and we had nothing to do with
I
it.
know.
These
This
commissioners did, the
commissioners-
former commissioners decided that.
Okay, but the thing is I brought it up when we talked about the pay, when I increased all my people. And you two remember, I said, I hope you'll address my pay.
And how
But
many
you never-
times have you stated that my pay doesn't matter?
It doesn't.
Okay,
But the
then
thing
that should answer that question.
But
If it,
the problem is,
And you've gotten a
what's
raise.
right is what's right, and what's wrong is
Have
what's
you gotten a
wrong.
raise every year?
I've gotten a 3% raise every year.
Okay, you've gotten a
But
raise
the,
every
the
year.
problem is $8,000 was taken out of my pocket. That $8,000 just over the last 12 years is
How did
96.
how did that occur?
Because they waited till after the primary to do it. You can look at the dates, and they took it out after I won the primary. With Larry Enfield stating, if Kevin Butts wins the write-in, we'll put it back, which is highly illegal. Okay, but it wasn't recorded back then. You know, for the last 12 years, I begged, let's get it recorded, let's get it recorded, let's get it recorded, because this should be an open and transparent meeting.
Right.
And the problem is, it wasn't.
No,
It wasn't for 10 years. I fought and fought. I recorded every meeting that I had and talked conversations with Larry Enfield and Ken Clem because of the fact they kept lying about stuff. And the thing is I've stood up against that. I fought against the evil and the wrongs doing in this community, and I've been persecuted from the day I got elected as sheriff.
What was your wages when you were with the county attorney's office compared to what you started at as
Okay,
sheriff?
the
Is that where
the problem is if you run for an office, you're running for the salary that is there.
Right.
And when it's reduced after you win the office, that's wrong.
What was it reduced, by what standard was it reduced from what Butts was making to what you started at?
Okay, Kevin Butts got a $8,000 pay raise when he first was elected. Okay, within a couple of years. He was, not a couple of years, within the first year, I think he got a pay raise. The problem is, I don't really care what my experience is and what you're trying to go down that road. If you run for an elected office, if I, Ashley, what happens if I pay the amount? What is the amount based off of?
Hey, what amount?
If I go in and register to run for an office, say your office, what is that amount that I have to pay based off of?
The current salary.
The current salary.
Okay.
It
But-
doesn't mean the salary that's gonna change after you win the election. It means your current salary.
But you, the
Same-
very first
Same
time,
thing happened for me. When I took office, Jen had 32 years of experience. I came in lower than what she was at.
It doesn't matter, it shouldn't happen,
I'm just telling you, it happened.
okay?
You aren't the only one.
The problem
It
is,
happened.
you've been compensated for that.
What it all
also.
comes down to, you know, if you wanted to push hard enough, is did you accept the position for that pay?
Didn't have a choice.
Yeah, you did, well. you know,
I could've,
you
when
could've
I
said,
say,
"No,
oh, the
I'm not
voters
doing
don't
that."
mean nothing, I'm just gonna turn this job
Well,
down.
but I'm playing the devil's advocate here, okay? You
Yeah.
did accept the position,
I
right?
did.
Okay.
But
well, there you
then,
go.
but then I asked you to address the issue when I raised my guys' salaries up.
Well, I can guarantee you're making more money now than you were back then, so you're getting raises, right?
But the thing is, what she pointed out, what she said, is why are my deputies, my undersheriff making more than me?
Well, that's a good question. I
That's a
mean,
lot of
it's a
overtime,
legit
too,
question,
though. I
and
mean-
that could be remedied, and I'm sure it will.
I mean, I can
I'm
state
sure
that
it'll be remedied once I'm out of office.
Right, it
Which
will.
is good, you'll take care of that.
He qualifies as to be on salary, and your head jailer probably does too.
Problem is, the fact is, I worked hard for my staff to get their pays up.
Yeah.
Every time that people accuse me, oh, you didn't follow procedure and do it in January. Well, the problem is I waited till the first quarter was over so that I could kind of look what's going on. And every pay raise I gave for my people were 4% or higher, even though the county only allowed 3%. And you can say, oh, you're not supposed to follow policy. Well, I didn't because I had to get my pay of my people up to where it's competitive. These people came in and they got dollar raises. I never got that.
What
I
I
never
make in
could.
a year is what one of your employees is making right now at the 6 or 7 month mark.
Okay.
And
The
I've
problem
been
is-
at my
Okay,
job for 7 years.
Problem is this job of your job as commissioners is to make sure there's no disparities in pays. In your pay study, there's one person making a whole bunch more than everybody that should be, but that wasn't adjusted. The problem is pay disparities exist in this county. Okay? There's people that are highly overpaid. There's people that are unpaid. I pushed and pushed for my people to have decent pay. And you can condemn me all you want for that. I don't care.
We're actually.
And I'm trying to ask you that it's not right that I asked you to fix my salary last time. You didn't. I got a 3% raise. Yeah. I love it. Okay?
you got a raise.
I know. Yeah, I got a raise.
Same thing,
Yeah.
So, what, we can't offer you the sky if we don't have it.
Some other people got the sky. Look at all the pays and follow your pay standards and
Okay.
actually look at the facts.
But
The problem is you said in the meeting that we're not gonna lower anybody. The problem is there's pay disparities. I'll tell you something. Back when I started teaching at the college, I helped build the network in this community of the schools. I helped build the network of the county and the city, all for free. I did
that was your choice.
No, whatever. I do things because I want to help the community. But you can say whatever you want. Yes, it's my choice. But the problem is when someone comes in and accuses me of hacking into my own network, then gets paid exorbitant amount of money, something's wrong there because they're related to a commissioner. So I'm gonna tell you, you need to really look at that. Because of the fact that I built the network and helped build it. Doug Whitson and I built the sheriff's office network and we linked it to the city. We did all that stuff. Okay? For free. When I worked at the investigator here, I did computer work for free. I worked on most everybody's computer in this county for free.
That's a bad choice on your part, because
Yeah,
I
I'm
would be.
stupid. I am so stupid because I get to do this for free, and then I get a handful of people that present so much hate and discontent for me. They want to tear me down for everything I've tried to do for this community, and I don't understand it. I says, this is good land, not hate land, and that hate is just prevalent. You can feel it in this room. And the
That-
problem is the thing is it's wrong that we use this platform as a political forum to promote someone or to tear someone else down. Should never have happened. Should
Choices
never
were-
have happened.
Choices were made and decisions.
Oh, we can't change the past, but we'll make the future better.
Well,
Hopefully.
yeah, so,
I'll
Ms.
be out here.
Knudsen,
I'll be moved on.
I wasn't really sure how that all came out of what about the inventory list? If it wasn't done a year ago when it was supposed to be
Jesus
done,
Christ.
was it done 2 years ago? And can we just catch it up from here?
Which it wasn't last
Yes,
three
the
years.
inventory will be done.
Talk
And
about that.
but it needs to be done. We need to
Legit
know what we
questions.
have.
Is it
It
done
was
annually? Is
done.
it done
It's-
semi-annually?
Is the inventory done on an annual basis, actually?
It's not on here.
Blaine said annually.
I'm sorry, what?
Inventory is done on an annual basis.
Yes.
So we have to have it, so,
So from 2 years ago, it should be done, so it should be fairly easy for them
Right.
to catch it up.
It was done every year before that. But
It just
you have
wasn't
it was
turned
done
into
every
any-
year
I
before
wasn't
that.
saying you weren't doing it, I
I
was just
know.
asking. if
It
was
just,
done,
all this
that's all.
innuendo stuff is really good. You're
Yeah.
good at it.
yeah,
It works
It-
real well.
yeah.
Okay, what else we got?
I'm good. I have to go to class, so.
I'm just
I have a
confused.
It was brought up in the last meeting about how, a employee underneath the sheriff makes more than the salary of the sheriff. I'm just wondering why that was brought up. I feel like, I would like an answer of why it was brought up. I don't know if there is.
You looking at me?
Time-
Who you
no, no,
looking,
no.
who you
I'm-
No, I
addressing?
brought it up.
Okay.
So-
It was brought up in the last meeting, so I'm asking and
I'm asking why someone below the sheriff is going to make well over what the sheriff is making, as well as almost double what I would even be making in 1 year. In 1 year, at the 7-month mark, when I pulled this stuff, you're gonna make more than me already. Like you already have, and we're only in July. You're gonna hit 95,000 by the end of the year easily because of your overtime. I have to be respected of my overtime at my job. That's a big thing that comes because anything overtime, and if it comes in the out of the black, okay, you go into the red in your budget line item. If Chief James says that, okay, that's when it's a problem because that's pulling from general and that's pulling from it. That's
So
why
are
it
you-
was addressed. I'm
Oh,
speaking to
okay.
him.
Okay.
He addressed the question.
So, do you realize that the sheriff's office is down a deputy, and I am pulling both deputy
No, I understand. So
duties
why is there not another person
and
hired?
if, I would love to hire somebody. If I could have somebody come and knock on the door today that would like to do that, we could hire them
And I hear
and go
you.
through it today.
I hear you
I
out
will- I
working
will
and
tell
doing
you
traffic
there
stops
is-
all the time. I know you're working.
I will
And
tell
I can
you
have
there,
them say
and
that.
it's just like last night, I worked till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm back here at 8 o'clock for the commission meeting, which is part of my undersheriff duties.
Mhm.
I went home, I got 5 hours of sleep, I'm here again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, when I'm done here, I'm gonna go home and take a nap, I'm gonna be back out tonight, and I'm gonna work the shift.
Yeah.
Just like I have to.
Well, I know.
Okay,
Oh,
and I will tell you, if you look at every department in the county, if you look, every door every business that has a door, they're looking for help.
Yeah.
It's not just us, it's not just the county, McDonald's is looking for help, Pizza Hut's looking for help,
I understand
Sonic's
that.
looking for help, everything.
And it's nothing saying that you're not doing your
And
job,
so
Blaine,
I'm
because
just-
I do hear you on the radio. I do work with you from my standpoint, and I see you're out and you are doing your job, and I do appreciate that you're doing that. But what I'm saying is, the fact that we have so much overtime.
And there is overtime, I'll tell you honestly.
Oh,
there is
I know we
But
have overtime
It
too.
doesn't matter, just like last Friday, we had a transport. We had a transport all the way to Topeka.
I don't want to get you in trouble
So, no.
because you're being shushed by him. So
So it's,
you just, I appreciate what you do, Blaine.
so I just
and I do
don't
see you.
understand why my
I just-
pay when
It's not just
I'm
your pay that was
working
brought up.
and
It was other people. There's 3 officers that are gonna be well over,
We're
like
under-
20,000, 30,000.
We're understaffed, and so that comes.
And if you're
from-
understaffed, then why did you send someone just recently off to academy if you needed help in the office or if you needed help at the jail or anything
That's
like
not what
that?
we're understaffed.
That's not the understanding of it.
Hold on.
But
Hey,
Hold on.
hang on,
She's
no,
talking.
Actually, I have the floor. I came up and I have
I
asked
actually
the
have an
question, so
appointment.
I have the
Yes.
floor,
Yeah,
okay?
Mhm.
So I'm gonna answer that question. We sent that person off to academy so they could help in other spots, okay?
That they've had no interest in the last since 2012.
Do you know their personal life?
Wow.
Do you, I'm asking you a question, Adrian. Do you know their personal life?
No.
Okay, so you have
But
no,
this is
I think
actually
we're starting to
It-
pick at
no.
straws.
We're going down the road here, we
You
don't need
guys
to be
are
going
just
down.
about
I asked
over
a question.
this.
No more.
No.
Okay.
I'm
Let's-
good.
this-
I actually
I'm
have
gonna-
to.
let's
take
talk about
class,
this.
so I'm great.
I'm gonna address this because basically she attacked my undersheriff because he's
I
making.
attacked him.
Can I talk?
Burton, before we get into a real bad throwing that, you've interrupted before, she's interrupted before. So you guys are gonna have to figure this out and learn to
I'm
talk
gonna make a
and
statement.
not step over each other. So if he's got the floor, he's got the floor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you attacked my undersheriff and my salary, my guys. The problem is, are you a supervisor?
Don't have to be a supervisor to make the statements that I'm doing,
Okay, no,
don't
you're-
I? But I'm
the problem
actually a
is that-
lieutenant on the EMS, so I guess, yeah, maybe it does put me in a supervisor position. I'm not a
Problem.
department head, right? So what's the problem with that?
Well, the problem is you're comparing your salary to what he's doing. But the problem is the fact that you're attacking my people. I won't stand for that. And your enviness and your problems with me need to stay with me and
Oh,
not
he
attack me.
addressed me, and so
Well,
I responded
no,
to
I'm
him,
talking.
so,
I'm talking.
and you shushed
I'm
him
talking.
again.
Okay,
You need to address your anger towards me. You've had this anger towards me for a long time, and I've been nothing but.
Oh, I know, you
professional.
brought personal stuff up in the last meeting, so,
okay,
yes, sir.
Adrian, he has the.
The problem is you've had this anger towards me from a long time, and I've been nothing but professional, and worked with you, and treated you with kindness. And then you turned around and you used it against me. And I'm sorry, but all you people keep saying there's gonna be retaliation from me. You know what I retaliate by? I take the person who's causing me problems, and I remove them from my life, because my life is too important to have poison in my life. And the fact that you guys keep attacking me,
I don't know why you're looking at me.
because you do it all the time.
Yeah.
Ah, geez, have you ever read your
And
writing?
I'm not
Do we
part
have
of
any
this
other
meeting.
relevant?
No. You read your writing.
Do you have any other
But
relevant?
the
No.
thing is, I love talking when someone else is not around.
No, I
But I'm gonna,
think
I'm gonna,
I think
Yeah,
it's
if
the
you
time.
wanna,
whole
if you wanna
posse.
go there, how many times did I have to tell you to sit down and hold it down the other day?
Or the peanut gallery?
Can't
Okay,
change
I
the
asked the
path.
question,
Can't change the path.
Oh, yeah, how we can.
but they learned from it,
No, they didn't, you're still talking.
so
think-
were you.
Steve,
So
I
that
think we need
answers-
to stop this.
Oh, I
Yeah,
100% agree.
this is going
We know
nowhere.
this election got pretty ugly.
This
And it's
year.
very, very disappointing because we are all know each other very well, and it didn't need to get ugly. But this is enough. This is enough.
You said
Okay, we
this
need
didn't
to,
happen
we need to
here.
wipe up this meeting and let's move on. Okay?
Anything else needs to be brought before the commission? Bettina and Burton will work together to get a commissary and inmate fund system set up.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye. Aye. All same sign.